Greetings! It is I, the fiendish Dr. Phil Nichols, coming to you for another installment of From the Lab. Hello everybody, Monster Kids. It's the fiendish Dr. Phil Nichols, coming to you for another episode of From the Lab. A lot of work on that movie, trying to get it done. I've actually started blocking out the Elsa Lanchester screaming Bride of Frankenstein. It's just a day in, and it doesn't look like a whole lot of much, just maybe like the Gnome King forming in Return to Oz or something, but in a few weeks she'll be there. And of course the Dracula AD 1972 is done and approved, and the surprised Larry Talbot, Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman is done and approved. So those have been approved, and I will be making their molds probably Wednesday, Thursday. I also have to do a couple more things mold-wise on that movie, so I'll knock all that out and get that done. So the sculpture's coming along, Elsa's coming along, clay presses for Captain Quint and the first Norman Bates are done. I've begun to get in all kinds of reference material. Like for Elsa, this is the final pose. You know, that kind of a deal. So she'll get there, and also going to do, this is my first Hammer vampire. The next Hammer vampire is going to be Ingrid Pitt as Carmilla from The Vampire Lovers. And then I'm thinking of other things, but yeah, I'm real pleased. I've been kicking around doing a Christopher Lee Dracula since I started doing mask work in the mid-1990s, but it's, you know, I went to see him in the movies, and Barnabas was on TV, and you know, it's kind of an important thing, and I didn't want to do a hack job. So I waited and waited and waited, and my skills finally are there, and I think this just turned out wonderfully. I wish you guys could see the detail better, but this is a cell phone video, so you know, it doesn't pick up the detail as good as we'd like. But both of these are really detailed. With my movie texture pads and stuff. And of course Fluffy's coming along, and of course we've got lots of lumber. Spent a buttload of money on that lumber. That stuff costs more than the supplies to make the creature, I tell you. But I'll tell you how to build a crate, but I will not build your crate. I'll build your creatures. And on that note, I started pouring up the Crate Beast Edition. Drained the first one off today. That mold weighs about 200 pounds when all the latex is in it, so it kind of slipped on me a little bit, and I had to mop up a little latex spill this morning. But anyway, that's this back end, so let's go on to the front end, and I'll show you what's been going on. Well, here we are, and you know, it's been a couple weeks or so since I could show you this front end, but as you can see, things are coming along. I started seaming a little bit. I'm hopeful that I can have all this stuff seamed by the end of the week and based out, and of course I'm pouring up the re-release of the Leprechaun, as many of them as I could get, probably about 5. But I mean, it just, that mold is so gone, and it takes me forever and a day to get them finished. So I mean, you got to be really patient if you've ordered them. Now the one that's already there, that's from last summer's run that I've begun, well, not begun, but I am patching on, you know, and getting it ready to go. And of course the last 2 Scream Blackula Screams, the one that right there's for David Lady, the one that's on the dry line, and then I have one more to pour, and it's my copy, and then that mold goes into storage. And thank you everybody that got the Scream Blackula Scream. Those are the last 2 Romeros. Gonna do one as the Night Gallery Count Dracula. The other one is going to be done as a Joker, as a gift to Jay Johnson. I think I'm gonna give him that. Then the hands. Now people have been asking me about them Leprechaun hands, and that mold, you know, it gave out on me early on last year. But what I did was I had to make hand molds for this thing, and I've got these hands, and I'm pretty sure that if I put the Leprechaun claws on them, they'd work for Leprechaun hands. So if you want me to make you a set of them, I can do that, or you can wait until I get them sculpted, the new version of them sculpted. Those are your options for hands. This is an Exorcist. It was my pull actually, but somebody wanted it, and I'm working on it. I'm working on everything, you know, and running up that edition. I will mold those 2 sculptures and then get them cast up as soon as I can. Then I got to get Carolyn Monroe and Christopher Lee's hands done, and then move on to the next things. And then of course there'll be the Bela Lugosi and the Harlan Chandler thing. I mean, there's still about 8 more things I have to sculpt commission wise, and then there are things that I want to do for me too. So busy. Anyway, thank you all so much for your patronage. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you collecting my art and paying the money I ask for it. But I always endeavor never to give you something that I don't feel is worth the money I'm asking for. I always want you to be very satisfied, and you know, that's my thing, because I appreciate you so much, and I want you to be happy with my stuff. So everybody have a great day. I'll try and keep up doing these weekly, but it might be 2 weeks before we can do the next one, just because we've got some stuff going on. Okay, so I'll see you next time. This has been the Fiendish Dr. Phil Nichols from the lab.